G'day guys! Multicore for the GB300 and SF2000 has just been updated. It now includes the new MP3 player by default, so you no longer need to manually install it, but also a brand new video player. Installing the new Multicore version is the same as always, basically requiring you to download the new Multicore version for your handheld, either the GB300 or SF2000, extracting it and then copying everything over to your actual SD card. We have made videos on this in the past, so we won't cover it again today, but I will link an install video down in the description below. I have been messing around with it, and I've noticed that there's no performance increases in the new MP3 player, so we won't bother trying that again, and instead we'll focus all of our attention on the new video player. Before we can use the new video player though, we do need to do a few things, like converting videos. Let's get into it. We're over on our Windows 11 PC now, and to get started, we do have to download a few things to convert our videos to a suitable format so that they'll play on our GB300 and SF2000 handhelds. We've just opened up Google Chrome and gone to the Multicore GitHub releases page. On the latest release, version 4.14, under core improvements, it mentions the video player as well as Angry, the developer of it. So a huge shout out to Angry. And it says refer to the video player repo for more information. So we'll click on that link. We want to click on releases. We want to scroll down to the very first build, expand assets, and we want to download convert no FFmpeg Windows. Just click on it. So this is basically just a handy batch script that uses the command line version of FFmpeg for Windows to convert all of your movies over to a suitable format. It does say no FFmpeg, and that's because it isn't included in the zip file, so we do have to manually download that as well. The exact version that I used is the latest build on BTBN's GitHub page. As always, I'll also link this down in the description below. Under assets, we want to scroll down a little bit until we find our Windows build. There it is there, it's the very last one. We just want to click on that to download it. It is around 90 meg. Since the FFmpeg script that we downloaded earlier is using 7-zip compression, you may need to download and install 7-zip. To do that, just go to 7-zip.org and download the correct version for your system. Most likely the Windows 64-bit version. Once everything's finished downloading, we can close off Chrome and open up our downloads folder. Inside, you should have your convert no FFmpeg Windows script, as well as the FFmpeg Windows binary. We want to extract both of them, so just right click on it. If you're on Windows 11, you may need to go down and show more options, 7-zip, and extract to. Do the same for FFmpeg. Once they're both extracted, we want to open up the FFmpeg binary that we downloaded, go to the bin folder, and we want to copy everything in here, so Control A, Control C, go back to our downloads folder, open up the convert script folder, open up the subfolder, and we want to paste everything in here, so just Control V. So now that everything's been set up, to convert your videos is super easy. You put all of your videos you want to convert inside the input folder. You would run one of the two scripts. It's recommended to run the 15 frames a second script just for better performance, which is the bottom one, but you can always try the 30 frames a second script. To run it, simply double click on it. Finally, once the script's finished running, all of our videos should appear in the output folder. I do have 2 test videos, so we'll go back to our downloads folder. Here they are here, Big Buck Bunny, and just the first episode of the original Pokemon series. I'll just move them into our convert folder. So convert and input, paste them in here. Go back. Before running batch files from the internet, it's always a good rule of thumb to right click on it, go to show more options if you're on Windows, and click edit. A batch file is just a series of commands. If you're not too sure what any of the code in here does, you could always copy and paste all the code into an AI, something like Google Gemini, and ask it if anything's malicious. In this case, nothing is malicious. It just pipes all of the videos in the input folder through FFmpeg with the very specific output requirements. We can close that off and we'll just double click on it to run. Converting can take some time depending on the length of the video and the device that you're converting on. So this is just a cheap little N150 laptop with integrated graphics, so it may take a few minutes. On my main laptop with a dedicated graphics card, it only takes a few seconds. So it's finished now, but on my first attempt, FFmpeg did stop running randomly. There was no error message, it did just stop converting. So all I did was I closed the batch script and reopened it. The second time I ran it, it didn't take very long at all. Now you can ignore the how to use on SF2000 message as these steps have changed, and simply press any key to continue. So now that our videos have converted, we want to insert the SD card from our GB300 into our computer. And if you're not using the latest version of Frog UI, then there's a few different ways to play your videos. I'll briefly cover both methods, as it is just up to personal preference. So we just want to open up our SD card. So one way would be to open up the ROMs folder, go down to videos, paste all of your videos in here, go back to the root of your SD card, so here, and double click on make romslist.bat. That'll create a separate launcher for each of your videos. So if you have a ton of videos, this can clutter up your user ROMs folder. The second method, which is the one I would recommend, is to first create a new folder on the root of your SD card. So just right click, go to new, go to folder, call it videos. We want to paste our videos in here. So we'll go back to our downloads folder, go back to the convert folder and output. Here's our 2 videos. I think I'll play one of the videos here on my Windows PC, just so you can see that they do play perfectly. So you can see the quality's not the best, but it does play smoothly. So we want to copy all of our videos, just Control A, Control C. go back to our SD card, open up the new videos folder that we created, and just paste them in here. Another thing I've noticed, at least with cartoons anyway, is that the converted videos are around 15 meg per minute of video. So Big Buck Bunny's around 10 minutes, and it's 135 meg. Whereas the Pokemon episode is around 20 minutes, and that's 300 meg. Just to give you a rough idea of how much space you would need. So we're then copied, we'll go back to our SD card, and next we want to create the video launcher stub. So open up the ROMs folder, go down to the very bottom. We just want to copy and paste any one of these GBA files, so just Control-C, Control-V. We want to rename the copied file, delete the file name, keeping the GBA extension, and we want to call it videos with an S, semicolon, and then whatever name you want to call your video player. I'll just call it video player. That's pretty much it. You only need to create this stub file once, and anytime you want to add new videos, simply copy them into the videos folder that we created earlier. I think we'll safely eject our SD card and take a look at this new video player on the handheld itself. We're back in our GB300 now, and to launch the new video player, you just want to go down to the user ROMs folder, so this one here, press A, go all the way down the bottom to videos, you can just press up, and you just want to run videos. It shouldn't take too long to open, and since we just created a generic stub, it shouldn't autoplay a video, but instead take you to the main program itself. I'll zoom in on the screen to make it a little bit easier to see. So from here, you just press start to open up the main menu. There's a few settings in here, but we won't go over them just yet. Make sure load file selected, just press A, and it should bring up a little file browser, and here's all the videos we just copied. We'll start with Big Buck Bunny, just press A on it to load. Can take a few seconds to load the video, and here it is here playing. Now unfortunately, it's not perfect, it does constantly stutter, as you can see. If we press A to pause it, press start again, go down to debug info and turn that on, press start to close the menu. We do get a little bit more info now, so you can see the frame buffer at the very bottom left. Keep your eye on that, currently it's green. If we press play, you can see it does cycle between green and red. When it goes red, it obviously pauses briefly. There is sound, but the sound is also very stuttery. You can fast forward using the D-pad. Left and right does 15 seconds, and I believe up and down is 1 minute. If we pause the video again, and then press start to bring up the main menu, there is a seek bar at the very top, so you can manually skip through the video, which is pretty handy. Color mode's pretty interesting. So if you've ever used a GB300 or SF2000 handheld, you'll know there's no brightness control, and late at night, this really does hurt your eyes. Thankfully, the video player dev has included a color mode. So you can brighten it, obviously. There's some dithering patterns, but there's also night mode. This just dims it. That is a really, really handy feature to have. Close it off, press play. You can see it's a lot darker. The on-screen color mode effects don't seem to affect performance at all. It is still stuttering the exact same amount. So hopefully when they fix the frame buffer issue, we can still use all these color modes without hindering performance. We'll pause it again. You don't have to pause before bringing up the menu, but it is good to do. You can turn the timestamp on or off. The save settings option basically just saves the color mode you have set. Definitely handy. There's instructions, just tells you the shortcuts, and there's about. So this is the developer. Again, huge shout out to them. This is a very, very impressive video player, even if it is a little bit stuttery at the moment. There's not really much else to see, but we'll load Pokemon just to show you that it's not the video itself. It does happen with all videos. So as you can see, it has the same stuttering issue. It starts buffering fine, and then it hangs briefly. Also, if you're wondering, this also happens with really, really short 20-second clips. It's not because I'm trying to play a full 20-minute video. Video length doesn't seem to make a difference. As mentioned earlier, if you're using Frog UI, then you'll just navigate to your videos folder and run the videos directly from there. No need to create the stub file. Overall, this video player is extremely impressive, even though it is a little bit stuttery at the moment. You might think 15 frames a second would look pretty shocking, but I have watched the converted episode of Pokemon on my PC, and apart from the low quality, there was no real issues, no stuttering or anything like that. I also think the video player UI itself was really well done. It has all the major features, and I really, really love the dark mode settings. That would definitely come in handy late at night. I'm hoping the frame buffer issue is something that is easily fixed, and it's not because of this low-end hardware. That would be a bit of a shame. We are so close at turning this cheap little device into the ultimate budget handheld. I think that'll do it for today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.